Okay, let's do this. Oh, that's good coffee. That's good coffee. Good morning, everybody. Today is July the 2nd, 2020. What's my plan? When it comes to asking me how's life, what's going on with myself, I find that I don't be fucking around. I'm really always trying to grow. Even though I'm failing, I'm really always trying to grow. I think people don't really believe me. They don't believe that that's my life's pursuit. That's my goal. It's to access the potential within myself. Because nothing else seems as worth it. And nothing else seems even as beneficial. For some people, I don't think that that's necessary for them. Or maybe they already have a particular passion and interest and they started very early. That's something that I think is really cool that I can't relate to. A lot of people in their early 20s know exactly what the fuck they want to do or knew exactly what the fuck they wanted to do. And they set out and took the necessary actions to make it happen. They were aware of the time it would take to accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. There's a way to do it right, as far as playing this game anyway, as far as acquiring that security that's so necessary. And I was always so indifferent, or rather it's just I knew that things didn't make me happy, that I was happy under the most specific of conditions. Let me drink some more coffee. The fuck are you talking about, Marcus? This coffee tastes gross now. Y'all see that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode? It was funny as hell. With the Nazi coffee maker, or the inventor. He was an inventor, but he had that comment about coffee to Larry David. He says they both wanted the coffee to be hot all the time. So Larry David went to this inventor to create a device that would keep coffee warm or hot at all times. And I just experienced it. My coffee's not hot anymore. Now it tastes disgusting. But the guy, and plus I drink it black, but the guy, he said, it's as if coffee is dictating to us when it wants to be drink. And I don't like that. I was going to be all over the place because I literally just woke up. It is like 6 o'clock in the morning right now. And I'm just trying to find something to say. And I think I can easily talk about myself. But myself, I consider that to be a boring subject. Even though it seems like I love talking about myself. What I love talking about is the ways in which we can grow. And what I love talking about is our observations of actuality as opposed to what we all just sort of act like the reality is. The thing about existence, especially in this particular specific context, is that we're super, super fortunate. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of luxury, right? But on the other hand, our feeble little brains can't handle it. We can't handle all this luxury. It's not that we can't handle it. It's that we don't tend to handle it. How about that? We can handle it. We can be well adjusted to having an absurd amount of resources and all kind of options that people prior to now have not experienced. I was talking to a gentleman and I was telling him, I was like, I really don't feel that we appreciate how far we've come as a civilization, as a people, as a species. When people talk about what's the world coming to, it's hard for me to listen. I will not steer you wrong on this. I will not steer you wrong on this. Listen to Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. Just choose one. Just choose any one of those podcasts. It's been a long time since I've listened to it. And I know a lot of people do not listen to podcasts. A surprising amount of people don't listen to podcasts. I could have sworn that more people did. And I find out that like people just don't tend to listen to just audio stimulation solely. You got to be looking at something. And I'm not mad at you. But there's a podcast called Dan Carlin's Hardcore History. And there's never a dull moment. It's hardcore. And it's about so many different groups of people. And just that alone, without even, like, I'm not even saying I can read a fucking history book. Like, you can read Sapien or Guns, Germs, and Steel. Like, those are some popular historical books. But one of my favorites so far is the one by Will Durant, The Story of Civilization. I was particularly like I was like, I guess I'm just genuinely interested in Japan. Anime, I got bit by the anime bug at a very young age, just like everybody else. And it's been a very long time since I watched anime. But Japanese culture is interesting. Japanese history is interesting. The way that they adopted so much from the Chinese, and the way that they really were all about the hybridization of like the warrior spirit, the samurai, with also a kind of sophistication and an eloquence. You don't know how accurate a lot of animes are when they sort of speak to the history of Japan. But like Rurouni Kenshin and Samurai Champloo and these other animes that speak to like the Meiji era and all that. And even The Last Samurai. Except for, you remember just mentioning The Last Samurai. My man, what's his name? Every time I really want to remember somebody's name, it's hard. Homeboy from Dave Chappelle, the black comedian, man. Paul Mooney. He said, when he was rolling his eyes at the title, The Last Samurai, because it was like, sorry, this movie, like, it's like, the last nigga, what did he say? Starring Brad Pitt or something. Oh, man. Anyway, Paul Mooney has a great little bit about The Last Samurai on Dave Chappelle. It was hilarious because it was so genuine, too. It didn't feel like he was just saying it. It felt like he meant it. But The Last Samurai was a good movie, I ain't gonna lie, though. Oh, this is just stream of consciousness. I fucking hate this. I hate it so much because my best is playing off of somebody. Not even playing off of them, but again, I just woke up, all right? I just fucking woke up. But I like speaking to wherever somebody is genuinely at right then and there in front of me. If somebody is in this blue place, I want to speak to their blueness. If they're angry red, I want to speak to their redness. What place am I at? I feel like I'm always chasing the green. And I wish it could be money. I wish it was that cool, but I'm not cool. Green meaning growth, meaning plants. I'm always trying to get my photosynthesis on, man, but it's I just want to fucking grow. Here's my feeling about this. Again, I just woke up. I cannot stress that enough. My feeling about this all is you gotta be the best version of yourself, man. You gotta be the fucking best version of yourself. And what do you expect from this world? What do you expect from yourself? We've been taught, or we think that we're enough by just doing whatever. And if that was true, if you really couldn't become stronger mentally, spiritually, if you really couldn't become a completely different kind of human being in some respects, if it was by doing certain practices, if that really wasn't powerful, then I wouldn't give a fuck about growth, I suppose, because then we'd just be talking about a fiction. We'd be getting into the people who believe they could put a force field around themselves and then let some brawler beat the shit out of them to prove that, hey, there's no force field around you, fool. You can't. Although those people may even be onto something. And the something that they may be onto, I'm not saying that they really are creating a force field, but maybe they have developed some kind of way in their own little way that makes them a little bit more impervious to some fist hitting them than a normal person who's not doing whatever kind of mental game that they're doing, or activating some internal factor that somebody else isn't activating. Maybe they are good at creating some kind of above average defense, but we always want to take some shit to the extreme, because now, like, that means I can create this force field where, or like that one monk who went into the ring, or the guy who claimed to be a monk. I don't know if he really was, but there was a dude who's a monk, and he fought in the ring with this guy, and he literally just stood there and let the guy hit him and hit him and hit him, the monkish character was trying to show how he was impervious and to pain or whatever, and his ass got knocked out. It's like, look, you gotta let go of your desire for something to be a particular way. That dude, maybe that monkish dude, maybe he could have been a beast if he didn't take it that far. Maybe, I'm just saying, but we always want to take it too far. It's the same thing with conspiracies. I know a lot of conspiratorial minds. I'm not mad at conspiracies. Conspiracies are a real thing. Tuskegee experiment, and just with how the government tried to even do with MLK, and just in just so many examples of obvious, proven conspiracies. But sometimes then what happens is you learn that there are conspiracies, and then every fucking thing is a conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy. And it's like, hold up. Some things that are even happening that are destroying us, like, let's just say, the fact that a lot of children eat utter shit, and that's not good for their brains, but that's completely normalized. I feel like that's some kind of conspiracy, but I don't think there's anybody rubbing their hands saying, yes, let's make children stupefied by having them eat absurd amounts of sugar and candy and junk all day, every day. I just think that the sugar has happened to be destigmatized, like caffeine, and so nobody gives a fuck. I think is sometimes certain conspiracies, quote unquote, are as simple as people just don't give a fuck. Something's happening that's hurting people, but it's hurting them just enough to where it's not so obvious, and it's just not consequential enough to where it seems like you need to intervene in any kind of significant way. So who cares? Who gives a fuck? I feel like that's a serious thing, and that's in its own right some kind of fucking conspiracy, but I don't think it's conscious in the way that, I think it's just more, a lot of this shit is just purely profit motive. It's purely profit motive. And so I've been speaking for 15 minutes. That don't seem right. Okay, so good morning, and I don't know, fuck. Stream of consciousness. Let's do it. Shit.